Protea.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel and thank you for clicking on the video. Today we take a look at Protea Prime. Sure, Prime Access actually just dropped today as the making of this video, and wow, was the wait worth it. Her design is totally stunning, and I'm also a huge fan of her augment helmet. Her ephemera is incredible too. As you just see, she's just shifting through time as she moves around with her stance. Now I'm using the Mirage one because I think it looks really good on her, but as you can see with the balls floating around, as well as if you move, it leaves a trace of her. It's so cool. Anyway, speaking of Protea, she actually has a Prime Access pack that you can get right now for free, courtesy of DE here on my channel. The only thing you have to do to enter is go to the link in the description below, or the pinned comment will take you to a video I made earlier explaining how to enter. Short answer, all you got to do is leave a comment with your name, or IGN, the platform you play on, and whether or not you have cross save enabled. So go to that video. Do not do it on this video. You must do it on that video because that's where I will be pulling the comments from. And also, a second place winner will also win 300 platinum, also courtesy of DE. So maybe you don't win the Prime Access, but maybe you still win some platinum. Other than that, we're going to talk about Protea and my build for her, and I think it's pretty good. Let's first start with Protea's Archon shards that I'm using. I have 2 purples, a yellow, and 2 reds. Now the purples are in place of equilibrium. This build is very energy heavy. In fact, Protea in general is very energy heavy. Without them, or without that mod, you are going to not really enjoy playing Protea, despite her having a much larger energy pool thanks to her new prime and stat changes. So I encourage you to use either the mod or the Archon shards if you have them. Secondly, we have casting speed. Again, this kind of goes back into her being extremely ability spammy. You're going to want to be able to get your abilities out quickly because her main bread and butter is her 1, which with this build you'll have 2 reasons why, but mainly it's so that she can get her overshields back constantly. So you want to be able to use the casting fans very fast. 2, we have 2 reds. 1 is for duration and 1 is for strength. I just like nice round numbers. Now you might say, well, that's not exactly round, but I'm actually using multi-efficiency, which when you add 36 to 194, you have 230. So a lot of duration. She needs a lot of duration for all of her abilities here. So that's pretty much the main stat you want to focus on outside of range. And strength, well, strength is strength. Now the Protea Prime build I'm using is mostly standard stuff, especially if you've seen my previous Protea build when I talked about Temporal Erosion when it first came out. But we have Growing Power, Nightmare Sure-Footed, Flow. Now Archon Stretch is a little bit more nuanced. We're using the Diriga, which gives automatic shock procs, which does actually proc Archon Stretch, which goes into all the energy, the ability spam. Since we don't have any efficiency mods outside of like the Archon shards, you're definitely going to want to run this, and I encourage you to use the Diriga. We'll go over that build shortly. Then we have Augur Message. We have Overextended because her first 3 abilities all heavily benefit with range. And then we have more strength and more duration. So pretty standard stuff. Multi-efficiency, multi-augmented are the arcanes. Multi-augmented plus growing power will give us almost 210 strength. And then, like I said, the duration with multi-efficiency is around 230. So very, very good balanced stats. A lot of energy thanks to the Prime Access, or I should say the Prime Frame. So you know, with this and Zeneric and all sorts of things, the health orbs giving you because of the purple shards, you shouldn't run out of energy most of the time, as long as you're, you know, if you're playing with a squad, definitely not, but if you're solo, maybe pace yourself a little bit. But this build is very, very good. I was using it in Steel Path like you saw in the intro. It's very fun as well. So we did take off her dispensary. I don't think it's necessary since we've got you know, all this other action going on, especially with the temporal erosion. I think it's just too good of an augment not to use. And then Larva is very, very, very good with Blazing Artillery. We've known this for years. It's just such a good grouping ability, and it allows Blazing Artillery to build its stacks extremely fast since it has automatic punch through. So it's going to build up its damage very, very quickly. If you've ever played Protea or you've ever watched a Protea video, you would know this. But if you don't, Blazing Artillery has a lot of punch through, and when you use a grouping ability, it builds its damage extremely fast. And we want all that duration so it can have plenty of time to build up its strength. So that way we have 230 duration, giving us a whole lot of time to use it. So it's around 6 seconds realistically, because it doesn't factor in multi-efficiency here. Now, I also wanted to make a newbie friendly build just in case you're watching this video and maybe you're new to the game and you don't have all those super meta mods. This is something I would encourage you to run. Now, the stats are a little bit skewed just because, again, I have those Archon shards installed. But if you take away 15 here and you take away 15 here, then those would be the stats that you should expect. Protea is a friendly frame for all. She's extremely fun to play. So if you're a new player and you saw that trailer and you're, you know, maybe you're new and you're interested into getting back into the game or at least getting Protea, I encourage you to farm her and try to emulate a build like this. If you're a newish player, maybe around 5 to MR5 to 11 or 12, you should have these mods, or at least a couple of them, and then just go from there. People in the trade chat are very friendly, and most of the time they'll give you the mod for free, so just keep trying. I would run something like this if you're a relatively new player. Now, like I stated, my companion of choice is the Diriga. We are using this because of a couple reasons, namely the additional crit damage, but also the innate electric damage procs, which will automatically proc Archon Stretch. We desperately need all the energy regen and energy efficiency we can get because, like I said, Protea is very energy, spammy, hungry, etc. So definitely recommend this. It's also very good if you end up using a weapon with a lot of gun CO because you'll be applying a lot of different debuffs thanks to Manifold Bond and, of course, Momentous Bond. So these 3 mods are very, very good on Diriga, and then everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Vacuum, Guardian, Regen, you know. And then, of course, like I said, we've got the purple Archon shards, so Synth Deconstruct will also help you get some more energy in case your companion is injured and they drop a health orb. So I would run this. Now, as far as what weapon you should use with Protea, I just used the Strun only because it went well with the trailer I made at the beginning of the video. But to be honest, I didn't find myself using her weapons that often just because her turret is so strong, and because she's so ability heavy, you're not going to really have time to focus on shooting an ad in the face. You're going to be stripping their armor and killing them with your abilities. And because Protea is somewhat squishy, you're going to need to be able to keep your grenade fans up at all times and keep your shield gate going and whatnot, casting Larva, casting your 2 different turrets. You're not going to really need to use your weapons at all. So maybe use something with Amalgam Serration for more sprint speed and have your secondary be a primer, or, you know, have Amalgam Diffusion or something for better parkour velocity or dodge speed. So like you saw in the trailer at the beginning of the video, you activate your 4, activate your 3, throw your fans down. The armor gets stripped pretty quick, and then you just blow them up instantly. The damage ramps up very quickly on the turret because they're all grouped up and they have punch through. So anytime it hits an enemy and then punches through another, that counts as 2. So we go back in. 3, 4, 2, dead. And you notice how much damage you build with temporal erosion. There's one video and build that I wanted to do for this, but I think it's best to just send you over to their channel. Nash Prime has a very, very cool Radial Blind Excalibur Subsume build for Protea on his channel that he made a few months back when the Murmur scene came out, so, or the faction came out. Go check out that video if you're interested in taking Protea even a step further. That is a extremely nuanced build. He crafts some pretty cool builds, so shout out to Nash. Go check out his video on Protea. And that's going to do it for me. So once again, go check out that video on my channel. Go check out Nash's as well. Go enter into the contest if you want a chance to win the Protea Prime Access giveaway. It's the entire thing, all 140 bucks. Very, very lucrative. It's free. You just got to leave a comment. If you're new here and you like this video and you thought it was informative, leave it a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on my other content. Outside of that, I thank you again for watching. Peace out.